I think it's safe to say that the award-winning Stalking Santa does have something going for it. FYI, the award it won was the Best Feature Film Comedy at the International Family Film Festival in 2007. The film itself was released in 2006 and is directed by Greg Kiefer, written by Daryn Tufts. And I think it has a really interesting premise, and that's what drew me to this. This so-called Santologist, Dr. Lloyd Darrow, puts together this sort of documentary, or his journey is being documented as he tries to prove or disprove the existence of Santa Claus. Either way, I have to say the film's pretty balanced. We can see that he is willing to admit that there might not be a Santa if he gets proof. But obviously he's actively trying to seek out this Santa Claus. We get some kind of snapshot of Santa's history, not all of it factually correct, but all of it very fascinating and interesting. The film uses clips of Santas from over the years, different interpretations, and it goes and tries to find this Santa Claus, and it is filmed as a documentary. It's a mockumentary approach, and we have pieces to camera with loads of little children describing what Santa is to them and what Santa is like as a being, and it's pretty interesting. I'll be honest, the narrative is not that exciting. I should also say I'm not the biggest fan of mockumentaries. I find them really uncomfortable and clunky. It's well edited, the editing is fine. Wow, I apologise if you heard that horn outside. I live on a very irritating road. The editing, as I was saying, is fine. There's nothing wrong with the editing. I think it flows nicely. I just personally think mockumentaries are really awkward and usually they feel fake. And this one does feel fake. But it's still pretty enjoyable as we just learn about Santa and have people discussing Santa. Obviously, Santa is this person who is known and loved by millions of people around the world, and it's something that unites a very vast portion of the population. And I think that's really interesting that many countries and cultures have their own interpretation and their own way of perceiving Santa, and this film does look at that a little bit, and it is really interesting. One of the other things, of course, is the wonder of, will he find evidence? How will this conclude itself? I'm not going to say how it concluded, but it's a pretty decent conclusion. I didn't feel dissatisfied. It's not the best in the world. I have certainly seen better films that deal with Santa Claus, but usually they are fictional with a really nice, either sentimental or juicy narrative. This, as a mockumentary, it's fine. It's fine as a one-time watch, and it's really interesting, and it's quite nice to look at all of these different perspectives and different angles on Santa Claus as a person, as a character. As a second watch, I don't think it would be that interesting. Chris Clark plays Lloyd Darrow, and I do think he plays this character really well. I think he feels very realistic. He feels like this Santologist. You can feel the drive and the passion for his quest and the journey that he is embarking on. I did like his performance. It's also narrated by William Shatner. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. It's narrated by Shatner. Why? I don't know, but it is. And the narration is fine. It's good. Would I recommend it? You know what? I would. As I said, it is an interesting take on Santa, and it's quite fascinating to look at all of these different approaches and hearing different opinions. It's not the best thing in the world. It's nicely threaded together. It's a good way to spend an hour and 25 minutes. Well acted, well shot. It does have that clunky mockumentary feel, but it's still pretty interesting, and if you're interested in Christmas films or Santa, then I'd say give it a go.